This is how I stopped being so distracted. Let me tell you a story. I was 13, it was the holidays, and I had a piece of homework. I had to write a Chinese essay. It was the morning, and I told myself I was going to finish that essay in the morning. But guess what happened? I wrote one paragraph, went onto my phone, scrolled a bit on Instagram, then I went to YouTube, and then by the time I was done and went back to my essay, it was lunch. So I ate lunch, then scrolled a bit more, watched a bit of YouTube because it's right after lunch. I gave myself excuses that I couldn't do the work now. I continued working on the essay, but then I went back to Instagram, back to YouTube, and then even onto video games because I thought I had time. And so by that time, it was time for dinner. So I ate dinner, went to finish up my essay, and by that time, I had just wasted an entire day. I finished one essay that would usually take an hour to complete. I took an entire day to finish that essay. If you can relate to that, then this video might be useful for you. The reason you aren't successful right now is because you're not focused. Focus means being targeted onto one thing and thinking about that thing while doing it at the same time. So it means while recording this video, my mind is 100% focused on my script, on what I'm about to say next. My mind is 100% focused on the task at hand. The opposite of focus is being distracted. Being distracted means that even though you're still doing the task, your mind is somewhere else. You're not mindful, you're thinking about something else, someone else. It could be about anything, as long as it's not about the task at hand. If you're not putting yourself 100% into the task at hand, then you are distracted. And these distracting thoughts can lead to distracting actions. Distracting actions are actions where you do something that is not the task. So it might be taking out your phone to scroll, it might be going out of the room to get a drink, a snack. Now, instead of focusing on that task, you have decided to move on to a different task. So you see how a distracting thought can lead to a distracting action. At first, a distracting thought may be slowing down your progress, and it might lead to something worse, which is the distracting action. Once you have reached a distracting action, it's really hard to get back to the task because you're already on your phone and there's so many other distractions to distract you. At that point, you're completely distracted. So how can you reduce how much you're distracted? How can you focus on the task that you want to do? Well, I think the way you can do that is by injecting meaning into your tasks. So what do I mean by this? For example, let's take exercise. For me, exercise is a staple of my life. I cannot live without it. I deem it as important. Why? Because I can directly see the benefits of exercise. I can build a better physique. I can walk up flights of stairs without getting breathless. I feel so much better. I have more energy and I feel like it's so fun. I know it's good for me because of the countless studies that are online. I know it's good for my cardiac health. I know it's good for my bones. I know it's good for my muscles. I know it makes me live longer. That's why I exercise, because I know there's so much studies and I know there's so much meaning to exercising. I know that exercising directly benefits me. I know that if I don't exercise, I'm going to regret it. You see how there's so much motivation for me to exercise because there's just so much reasons for me to. And if there's so many reasons for me to, then of course I'm going to exercise because I know that it's good for me. Now apply the same thing here. If you're doing a task and you don't find it meaningful, as in you can't see the way it directly benefits your life, then how can you expect to focus? You have to ask yourself a few questions. Are you really motivated to do these things? What do I truly gain from doing these things? Am I doing these things because they actually help me, or am I being forced to? If you're being forced to do something, then of course you're going to be distracted because you've already deemed this task as not important. So it's subconsciously in your mind. You're gonna say, no, this task is ignorable, it's negligible. You're not going to put yourself 100% into that task. You're not going to put in your 100% effort into that task if your subconscious mind is telling you that no, this is not important, focus on something else. So you have to find the reason for doing these tasks. Even for the smallest of things, you still have to find that reason. You still have to find that why. That is what will allow you to be motivated. That will keep you disciplined. Let's take, for example, making your bed. Making your bed is such a small thing that some people do in the morning and some people don't. And I can see why people don't do it, because it's such a small thing, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to head back to bed anyway. So why? Well, I can think of a few reasons why. Firstly, it keeps you disciplined. You have to do it every single day, and this builds up momentum for the day. If you do a small task like making your bed, it will eventually lead to momentum to do even more tasks in the day, have momentum for success. And then the discipline that you build from making your bed every day can translate to other parts of your life. If you can make your bed every single day, it means that you have the discipline. You have the discipline to do something bigger. What can you do? You have the discipline to exercise more. You have the discipline to work out every single day. And if you work out every single day, you get a better physique, you live longer, you live a higher quality of life. Can you see that just by making your bed, it trickles up? And then suddenly you're extending your life. There were so many reasons I could inject into making your bed. Even for such a small action like making your bed, there were so many reasons I could come up with. So you have to find your own reasons for doing the tasks. I cannot make them up for you, because I'm not living your life. Everybody has their own challenges. Everybody has their own problems, their own situations they're in. So someone's advice on YouTube can't possibly save you. You have to be the one who saves you. You have to find that why. I hope this video has helped you. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Bye bye.